This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Hey, what is up guys? This is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Manga Realization Samurai Spider-Man. Now, taking a look at the front of the box, we can see an image of the figure with some slash effects in the background. At the bottom, we can see the words Samurai Spider-Man and the Tamashii Nations and Bandai logos. Turning the box around, we can see multiple panels showcasing the figure in multiple posing positions with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. Turning the box back around, removing the lid, we can see that the figure is showcased in a clear black tray surrounded by his multiple accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is the Shogun Web Slinger out of the box. And I'll be honest, I've always hated the look of this figure. Ever since it was shown in magazines and all over the internet, I completely despised the aesthetics of this figure. I thought it was so ugly and horrifying that I just never even wanted to hold it. But finally having it in hand and checking it out, it's actually pretty awesome and I am very impressed, and I like it a lot more than I originally thought I was. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Samurai Spider-Man does come with a decent amount of accessories. Starting off, he comes with a katana, a sheath for his katana, 4 pairs of interchangeable hands, and some metal chain web effects with hooks. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at Samurai Spider-Man. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the Samurai Spider-Man. Now this is a very interesting figure. I know it's been out for quite some time, but I'm finally getting to take a look at it, and I think, like a lot of people, I didn't really like the looks of it. The aesthetics of it were just so weird to me. It just seemed like a little too much, you know what I mean? And I always kind of figured Spider-Man fit more of being a ninja than he ever would being a samurai. And just like I said, seeing promo images and other people having it and whatnot and things like that, I never really appreciated it or really liked it for the way it looked. It just looked wrong to me. With all the webbing around that and all that, I didn't like it, to be honest with you. But actually having it in hand and actually taking a look at it in person, you know, with myself, getting some time with it and whatnot, I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to be honest. And a lot of my friends know I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan at all, so I have no bias to this character whatsoever. And again, I originally somewhat hated this figure. But actually playing with it and posing him around, he's actually a very cool piece. I still think he's has a little too much going on and whatnot, but it's not as bad as I originally thought. He does look very cool. I really do like that. Let me see if I can just pin up there. There we go. I do like his overall sculpt and whatnot. They did such a good job with everything. All this webbing and whatnot throughout the entire armor, the shoulders and the helmet, and the skirt piece and the boots, is just very, very well done. All this panels, like these plates, are all very nicely sculpted. And the skirt piece right here, even the pants underneath, are very nicely sculpted. You can see that they are textured and whatnot. I think that looks very cool. Just very, very well done. I'm very impressed with what they did here. You can even see with the chest logo right there, that is sculpted on, not just painted. But you can even see in the armor itself is sculpted to look like a webbing pattern in the armor, which is pretty dope. I like that a lot. That's really intense for what they did here. If you pull the sword off, you can see there's a spider on the back like that. Pretty cool. This just pegs in right there, simple ball peg like that and whatnot. So that's pretty good too. But again, the helmet looks fantastic. Looks really nice. I like that quite a bit. The face itself is still a little weird to me because there actually is a mouth sculpted, if you can see that, and that looks a little odd. And then I'm not sure why they picked like this really light lavender for around the eyes. I'm not a big fan of that design. I think if they would have modified the head, I probably would have liked the aesthetics of this figure a lot more. But I think as far as the head goes, that's probably the worst part of it for me, because I think everything else actually looks pretty decent for what it is. Just love it, love it, love it so much. I think they did a pretty good job with this again. So everything looks really good. The paint is very nice. I love the fact that we get that like deeper blue in the back like that, whereas opposed to like the red of the entire figure. We do get these like darker grayish bluish, almost lavender, purplish pants. Looks really nice. I'm a little a little confused why they chose like this jade type of green for the webbing. It doesn't really bother me too much. I don't know. I kind of would like to see them maybe in black, or maybe like a gray or something, kind of like the movie. I don't know. Maybe they tried that and it just didn't look right. So I don't know. The green kind of throws me off a bit, but again, it doesn't look too terrible. So let's take a look at his accessories. He does come with his katana on the back, and this is on a ball peg, so you can move that around if you need and whatnot. The sword does come off just like that. It is a very nice katana, so it just has a little spider right there on the actual handle itself. And he does come with some gripping hands for either hands, or for either side, and you can just put that in there like so. And he does hold it very nice. You can get some pretty cool things with that. You'll see some pictures at the end and whatnot, but that's very cool. I do like that quite a bit. Very nicely painted too, like the silver and the gold and whatnot. And that holds in there very tight. I love that. He does come with a ton of interchangeable hands. So you can see I do have a gripping hand on this one right here. And then I have more of the flipping hand for this side. And you can get some flipping action going on. These are interchangeable, and they're just on simple pegs, like so. And then these are actually little web shooters. But these are the ones that are just not actually shooting anything. And that just... Where did that go? I just totally... Oh, there it is. I totally lost that for a second. But what you can do, he comes with interchangeable webs, or webbing, whatever you want to call it. With these, you take these, just slide those old ones off, and put these around the wrists, like so. So if you can get it like that, and then you get these like whipping hands, like that, peg those on, and then you got these really, 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 really long chain. I'm getting all tangled up here with the other. Oh my god, that's really happening. There we go. Okay, so we got a little hook on this side, but again, it's a pretty long chain that we get with this. So instead of actual webbing, you know, he gets an actual like a web chain, I guess you could call it. But it's a very long piece, and you get two of those, so you can attach those to both hands at the same time, and it's pretty cool. And I do like the chain itself. It's almost like a rustic type of metal. It's not just a bright silver and whatnot, you know, so it actually works out pretty good. And you can even like put it in another hand, like so. So he's kind of holding it around too. So there's multiple posing options you could do with webbing. Like that, but I do think that's pretty cool how they did the actual webbing effects, but still keep them like ancient samurai by making them like whip metal chains with like hooks. So I think that's pretty cool. And you can put these back on like so, take this peg hand like that, and there you go. So pretty cool. One thing I will complain about also, he has a little tonto blade right here across his belt. That is non-removable. That is part of the sculpt, so you're kind of screwed with that. I kind of wish we could have had that as an extra accessory, but it is what it is. So let's take a look at the articulation here. So the head is on a ball joint. It does roll around like so, very nice and tight. Rotates left and right. This chin piece right here, the chin protector, is a softer plastic, and it seems to be on a little hinge, so it does not hinder articulation whatsoever. You can pivot the head side to side. Look up with the neck. There's a ball joint in the neck as well. So you go up that far, down that far again. We got ball joints at the shoulders, go all the way up and down and out like that. These shoulder pads are also on ball pegs, so these kind of roll around too and pretty much do whatever you need, so it does not hinder articulation. We do get somewhat of a butterfly joint in there like that. I don't know if you can see that inside the socket right there, so helps you work with going across the chest and whatnot. We get double jointing elbows that work very nice. We get rotation at the glove right there, as well as rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. We get a ball peg, seems to be a double ball peg from the upper torso into the lower crotch area right there. So that rolls, oh, well then there you go, you can see it just like that. So that just popped out of socket. But luckily it goes right back on, right? Yeah, it does. I'm pretty sure it does. Did I just break this? No. Okay, we're good. So again, rolls around just like so, does turn left and right, pivots side to side, crunches back and forth, pretty decent. Hip joints can kick forward that much, back about that far. Can do the splits about that much, rotation in that upper thigh, double jointed knee, that works pretty nice. We do get a slight boot rotation. We get an ankle joint, allows you to point the toe up and down, rotate, and a pretty good ankle rocker, and we also get toe articulation. So overall, again, I am surprisingly impressed with this figure. Again, I generally thought it was just an ugly figure when I first saw promo images, as I know a lot of people did, and I still kind of think it is, but it is a lot better than I originally thought it was going to be. So I'm actually very impressed with what Tamashii and Bandai did here. So I think it's pretty cool. So you just get him some pretty even like Spider-Man dynamic samurai poses. So I think that's pretty cool. So overall, a pretty decent piece. I like him a lot more. I think you would absolutely love him if you're a giant Spider-Man fan, and I think he is definitely a must-get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Spider-Man comparison, here he is standing next to the Revoltech Spider-Man. And just for fun, here he is standing next to Little Lego Bat-Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Manga Realization Samurai Spider-Man. Now, like I've stated numerous times in this video, I genuinely hated the look of this figure. But actually having it in hand and playing with it and posing him around and checking out all his cool accessories, I actually like it a ton more than I originally thought I would. I still do think a little parts of this figure are kind of ugly, but for the most part, he's a pretty kick-ass figure, and I'm pretty proud to add him to the collection. I think he's awesome, he's a really cool samurai, and I think he is a must-get for any Spider-Man fan. So for great deals, head over to agelessgeeks.com for awesome action figures like this, and all the things you love. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.